Now, people know me. I don't want to sound like I'm a Bill Belichick apologist, because anybody who knows me, I do hold him responsible for the cheating that went up. The reason that people don't hold the Patriots 6 championships in higher esteem is because Bill Belichick was fined the largest fine ever for a coach in the NFL for Spygate. There was Deflategate. There were just too many things going on.
I don't want to go down that road with you, but the point is this: the athletes still did it on the field. They still did it on the field.
I get it, but they still cheated. They just did.
And he's still a great
coach. And we can't have it both ways. We can't say Bonds and Clemens. No, we celebrate Joe Torre and Tony La Russa, but we down and denigrate the players. I mean, which one is it? Okay, it's either everybody is stained or no one should be stained. That's how I go about it. But anyway, let's go here. Rob G., since Bill Belichick was forced to step down, whatever you want to use the term, I mean, they didn't want him there anymore, so they played nice in the press conference like it was a mutual agreement. I don't believe that. But anyway, since that, and he didn't get the job in Atlanta, all of a sudden, you've heard nothing but a stream of expatriates and players ripping on Bill Belichick, who not only won 6 championships, Andy, as a coach, head coach, he won 2 with the New York Giants as the defensive coordinator. And remember, for people who try to discredit him, that defense, as you know, Andy, was unbelievable. Lawrence Taylor leading the way. And they won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different quarterbacks.
It was good this year. The offense stunk.
Right. But people are taking pot shots at Bill Belichick, basically, that he's not, I don't know, like Rob G, jump in, but anywhere from he was terrible to play for, to the only reason that they won was because of Tom Brady, to just that he was a bad person. I mean, they're all over the place, but all of them are slinging arrows at Bill Belichick.
And it ticks me off. This ticks me off big time. They said they was really willing to listen to the locker room. And look, they rated him like the 27th coach among 32 NFL coaches, which
Rob
is a joke.
G has all the details. Go ahead. And then, Andy, I want to get your take.
He's taking arrows from all directions. It all started now with the Patriots documentary on Apple TV. We talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago. We found out later, after it's already been airing, that the documentary is being put on by Kraft Dynasty LLC 2024, which means that Robert Kraft and the Kraft family had final cut of this documentary.
He crafted it his way. Exactly. Absolutely.
And one of the themes that's arising from this documentary as it's playing out every week is that playing for Bill Belichick was like the most miserable experience. You had Matthew Slater saying it was brutal. Gronk saying that he didn't want to get out of his car to go to practice. That's how bad it was. You had Wes Welker saying that Tom Brady was like an abused dog who kept coming back to his owner. Like, it was really bad, right? And then you have this new regime comes in. Gerard Mayo's the new head coach. He's got a whole new front office. Elliot Wolf says at the Combine this week that the Patriots will have, quote, less of a hard-ass vibe moving forward, have a new culture. And then you talked about it, Andy. The NFLPA report comes out, and the players give their answers anonymously, which is kind of a weak way of doing it.
That's gutless.
Right? But they give him a B- overall, which doesn't sound bad until you realize he's ranked 27th of 32 NFL coaches. Only 55% of the players felt that Belichick was good with their time, and he respected them. And he was ranked 31st amongst his peers. The only coach to rank worse than Belichick in those 2 categories were Josh McDaniels, who got fired midway through the season.
It's a joke.
They have turned him into the biggest villain in Patriot Town, and they're basically blaming him for everything that's gone wrong for them, despite the fact that he is the winningest coach in NFL history.
Where were they after they won the Super Bowls? Let me just say this, and Rob, you know this better than, and so do you, Robbie, really. Players always need excuses. Always. No matter what the sport is. They talk about travel was bad. The hotel was bad. And they use that terrible term, I hate this word, distractions. We got You know what? Teachers have distractions. You get into a car wreck going to school, they still teach. There's distractions all the time. Salesmen have distractions, but they still make their sales calls, okay? And now the Patriots lost this year, so you know what? They're pointing fingers. They have to have this. This coach, Bill Belichick, and I'll say it right here, is the greatest coach ever in the National Football League. Period. End of story. All right, Mount Rushmore belongs to Bill Belichick. And I tell you what, these gutless players who cannot handle the old school method of coaching, they want to have the soft deal. You remember when Paul Brown coached the Cincinnati Bengals? They had 3-a-days, okay? And then they had 2-a-days. Now they don't even wear pads. They don't even wear pads. They practice for 45 minutes in August, and they don't wear pads. Everything is cushiony. And you know what? That's why there's more injuries. Not because of the turf. It's like a boxer going to the ring without practicing. That's what it's all about. You have to have your work done before you go into the field of action. And they don't. They don't work enough. So you know what? These athletes, to me, it's disgusting what they're doing to Bill Belichick. And really and truly, I'm really upset that the NFLPA even releases this stuff to the media and to the public. It's wrong. I don't think it should have been released.
But here's the whole thing, Andy. This is commonplace when players have guys who have achieved a lot and there's blood in the water. I'll give you a better one, and you might remember this. Michael Jordan, when he finished up his career with the Wizards, they were talking bad stuff about Michael Jordan. There was even a story that the players didn't want to chip in to get him a birthday present. There was, that's how much they disliked him and playing with him. And that's what this is to me with Bill Belichick.
Because he demanded too much.
Exactly.
He wanted to win.
Exactly. And it didn't stop guys from taking less money to go to play for the Patriots. It just, none of this makes any sense to me. And that doesn't mean that I'm defending him and saying he was the greatest coach and treated everybody great and all that. But I'm with Andy. It's pretty gutless. I'd rather someone say it during that time when they were winning Super Bowls to say he's a bad guy to be around. I know we're winning, but he does the stuff that he does. I hate this team. I hate it because nobody will say that.
It's
to say it after the fact.
Right, because they were so happy to say we do it the, quote, Patriot way.
Yes.
Not a Patriot way, I guess, wasn't good.
It's mind-boggling to me. These guys sound like big babies. And again, you have him as the greatest coach ever.
I do.
I can't put him there because of the cheating scandal.
But Andy Reid's
and I
breathing
keep
down his
saying
neck.
this too, Andy, that at some point there'll be a book, and this is why you can't really put Bill Belichick there, is because even Eric Mangini, one of his disciples, called him out about what they do there. And you gotta, if you don't think that that's credible for a guy who was his disciple, who was underneath that roof, who knew what went on when Eric Mangini was a Jets coach, I think that speaks volumes. How do you overcome that, Andy, and justify in your mind that some monkey business wasn't going on with the Patriots?
You know what? I just look at the record, and that's what people care about. That, maybe there was some underhanded stuff going on when Vince Lombardi coached.
Maybe.
I don't know. It could be. And you're right. There has been some chatter and some negative talk and some things that maybe are not on the up and up. But at the end of the day, people are going to look at the record. And 10, 20, 30 years from now, that's all I care about is the record, what he accomplished. And what he accomplished, no one else will ever do. Although, as I said earlier, Andy Reid's breathing down his neck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know everybody thinks they're going to win every year, and they won the last two. But I think it's harder than people think.
But more than that, what he did, he won in Philadelphia, and now he's winning.
And unless he's coaching against Kyle Shanahan the next three Super Bowls, because Kyle Shanahan can't win a big game. So if that's the competition, he blew 2 10-point fourth quarter leads to him. I mean, like most guys.
And he was the offensive coordinator when he was down by 28, wasn't he?
Exactly, and blew that game as well. So he lost 3 Super Bowls. So if you're coaching against Kyle Shanahan 3 more times, then Andy Reid has a great shot. I'm not convinced that anybody other than Kyle Shanahan would have lost those 2 Super Bowls to Andy Reid. I'm dead serious. But I do think
maybe Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell may have.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. There's another one. I'm with you on that. Another guy who blew the Lions' chance to get to the Super Bowl. People can say whatever they want. That was a blown opportunity. That was as bad.
And
as
I like Dan Campbell. I was pulling for him. Liked him ever since I saw the Hard Knocks deal. I like Dan Campbell, but he blew it.
Right. We're talking Bill Belichick, and is it cool to kick him while he's down, or does he deserve all this, or maybe these players are just wimpy now to say all this stuff now that he's not a coach any longer? I know, Andy, people want to jump in. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Kevin in Tacoma, you're on the Odd Couple. How you doing, Kev?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great.
Great. Well, no, what I remember from a lot of the players talking is how during the game, after the game, even though they won, Bill Belichick would embarrass these players in front of other teammates, and he would show where they dropped a pass. They would show where they didn't do a block. And now that it's Belichick that's out, I think they're looking at him and saying, hey, look, you messed up here. Hey, look, like, how does it feel to be embarrassed? So
I don't think that's embarrassment.
On my mind.
That's part of teaching and coaching. I don't think it's embarrassment. They may look at it the wrong way, but don't you agree, Rob? That's not embarrassment.
No.
Coaches do it all the time. They run film
and I don't remember him doing it at the press conference in front of other people where, as you talk about, Andy, it's about coaching. And, yeah, in front of your teammates or whatever, but not out in public. I don't remember it. I don't remember Bill Belichick undressing players in the media. He hated the media, Andy. You know that.
Yes, he did. Yeah, you're right. But look, players today are soft. Admit it. There may be great players out there, but basically they're soft. They are. They don't like criticism.
They're so soft, most of them need a blue pill. I'm just saying.
There you go. All right, Chad in Cincinnati. You're on The Odd Couple. Hello, Chad. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, OG? What's up, Andy? Much respect to y'all, but I think y'all living in the past. Belichick's not untouchable. He has a losing record when Tommy's not his quarterback, and
he also you need. Let me say this: stop with that narrative, because go look. Every time Tom Brady won a Super Bowl, they had a top 5 defense. You go look the last time they won the Super Bowl against the Rams, Andy. Tom Brady had no touchdowns, a pick, and a fumble. And they kept the Rams, who averaged 35 points that year. They held them to 3 points in the Super Bowl. Stop with the Tom Brady is the reason that they won.
And it's a crutch. That's what it is.
It's a crutch. Stop it.
As the coach of the Browns, and he got fired.
No, I just gave you facts in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady had no touchdowns and a pick and a fumble.
Make the whole totality of his career. He had a losing record as the coach of the Browns.
No, I just gave you an example. Give me the year that they won when they didn't have a top 5 defense. Tom Brady went 9 years without winning. Tom Brady lost to Manning twice. Come on, man. Stop. The first three Super Bowls were about Adam Vinatieri and the defense. Can we be honest?
You can't change the minds of people, and that's the crutch. It's sad. It really is sad. And it's easy. It's a lazy man's way out, and the national media, to some extent, most of them have gone that direction, saying, you can't win without Tom Brady.
It's
that's what it is.
Phony narrative. Go look. The first Super Bowl that they ever won, Andy, remember this, in the entire postseason, playoffs, and the Super Bowl, Tom Brady had 1 touchdown. Go look it up for yourself, you lazy guys. You're too lazy. Stop being lazy and following these ridiculous narratives. Every year they won a Super Bowl, they had a top 5 defense. Go look.
But you know what? It's not the media, because I guarantee if they poll these players who are gutless and didn't use their name, they'll say the same thing. Oh, he didn't win without Tom Brady. They'll say the same thing. They will. It's amazing. Bill in Seattle. You're on The Odd Couple. How you doing, Bill?
You guys think you're in flames over this? Let me tell you. 6 years ago, 10 years ago, people would have killed to play for Bill Belichick.
Yep.
He has a couple of losing seasons, and all of a sudden, people are crazy and jumping on him. What do people think it takes to be a coach in a locker room with all those alpha males? And how would people like Lombardi, Coughlin, Dan Reeves, Chuck Noll, Mike Ditka, Jimmy Johnson, how would they fare after a couple losing seasons with players' polls and with the NFLPA? And what do you think it's like on that football field in August in Alabama when Nick Saban was there?
Yeah.
No doubt.
I got to ask you this.
Instead, they want a coach that's a country club, run a country club, and don't win. Right. Is that who you want to play for? Come on, man.
You're right. But what does this NFLPA survey do? What's the upside of this survey? I want to know. Tell me. Except giving us fodder to talk about.
I'll appreciate that on a Wednesday. How's that?
But honestly, I don't know why it's released. I really don't.
877-99 on Fox if you want to jump in.
Drew in New Jersey. You're on The Odd Couple. Oh, Drew.
Hey, guys, I'm going to get right into it. So with Bill Belichick, I kind of give it the same credit you give Phil Jackson, right? If you want to say, hey, you know, we look at Phil Jackson, Michael didn't win without a triangle. So I give it the same credit because before the triangle, he didn't win, and he didn't win after the triangle. Now, I still think MJ's the
No,
GOAT.
he didn't win until he got Scottie Pippen. That's when he started to win.
Scottie Pippen isn't the reason. Michael Jordan would have won. Scottie Pippen was a part of it, Andy, but he's not the reason. And Scottie Pippen never won anything after Michael Jordan. People need to stop that.
Else. Phil Jackson was a great
Scottie
coach.
Pippen, if he was really that big, could have won one of those MVPs, those 6 that Michael won.
And Phil Jackson was a great coach. He coached the Albany Patroons, and he won. I mean, he could coach.
Right.
He's a coach.